Hi, good morning. I'm in San Jose, Costa Rica. I got here just a few days ago, and so I thought I would share with you what I do when I get to a new country, whether it's for a house sit or just for travel. I'm in San Jose, Costa Rica, but I'm not here for a house sit this time. I'm here to travel, to visit, to apply for residency. But what we're going to talk about today applies for me getting somewhere as a house sitter or just as a regular person traveling. So we're going to go through what I do in the airport when I first get to a place, what I do when I first get to my house or Airbnb, my house sit or my Airbnb. And that's what we're going to cover today. Good morning. But first, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Stephanie Perry. I am a house sitter. I'm the creator of House Sitter School. Let me fix that eyebrow. Okay. I'm the creator of House Sitter School, the co creator of Exodus Summit, and I help Black women take a sabbatical, move abroad, bop around as a nomad, all while embracing ease. If these things sound good to you, please hit the subscribe button. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Thank you. And then turn on notifications, ring the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I post a new video or when I go live. Welcome. Welcome everybody. All right, so I'm in Costa Rica. Costa Rica doesn't change time zones, so we're on like the equivalent of mountain time in the US right now. And then I'll be on central time a little bit later. So I'm saying that to tell you that it's 8 o'clock in the morning, okay? It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't have my setup set up. I'm not crazy about the lack of light right now, but I'm not going to take my time to fix it, okay? So I don't know. If I use this little light, is that helpful at all? Not really. I'm just going to turn it off. I don't want to deal with it, okay? So setup is not all the way set up. But that's part of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what it's like, what I do, the first things I do to get comfortable in a place, to feel at home as a traveler, as a house sitter, and as a person who's going to do some remote work there. Okay, all right. Good morning. Good morning, Floydette Roy. Good morning, Tonisha Bryant. Good morning, Orletta Caldwell. Good morning, Tanya. Good morning, Yapa Judah. Good morning, ALM. Good morning, Lucille Kendall. Good morning, Pray, Travel, Eat from Merida. Hello. Good morning, Georgette Mayo. Good morning, Netmore. I'm on a third party called Ecamm Live, so it tells me the emoji that you put in instead of showing me. Good morning, Elle. Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Ms. Dow, who is in beautiful Zanzibar. Ms. Dow is in Tanzania, living her dreams. Good morning, Donette. Good morning, Hollis. Good morning, Marilyn. Good morning, Carmen. Good morning, Carrie Ann. Good morning, Adelia. Buenos dias. Good morning, Vanessa. All right, is Connie Perry here this morning? Not yet. She hasn't said good morning yet. Okay. All right, so I don't know. Did we just get started? I think we'll just get started. I'll tell you um, what I do in the airport first. Okay, so I flew in here. It's really hard to say. I don't know what day I flew. I'm not crazy about I don't know, my hair. Okay, let me just put some of that back there. Get some of that gray out of my face. It's so aggressive. Gray hair is so aggressive. I keep it when I dye it. I keep the gray that's here. But I often regret that. I often regret that. Opinionated African. I'm live on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, almost always. Almost always. Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And remember that you can get text reminders from me. Anybody get their text reminder today? You can get a text reminder from me before I go live, a 10-minute warning. Like there's a little 10-minute reminder that goes out. Anybody get theirs this morning? If you text the word YouTube to 888-403-4465, you'll get a reminder before I do a live stream. That way, you don't have to remember. Listen, I'm in an age now where I am no longer trying to remember things. I need reminders and alerts and all of that. I need some assistance. I'm no longer trying to hold things in my memory because it's not reliable. I need reminders. Yeah. Okay, Halisi got her reminder. Hi, Halisi, our Black Utopia. Are you guys still on your house sit in Spain? And Kathy got her reminder. Okay, good. And Teresa. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I sent them up. I set it up to help you just like I would want. I would want the help. Okay, good. All right, you guys are here. Notification gang, you're here. Yeah, so you don't have to remember things. But it is 10 a.m. Eastern time, most times. You know what I'm saying. Most Saturdays. Okay, let me get my notes up and just go ahead. Let's go ahead. Let's get going. I'm in Costa Rica for one thing I want to tell you. I'm in Costa Rica for, oh, well, let's go ahead and get started because the first thing I want to tell you is related to the first thing on my list. The first thing that I do when I get to a new country, whether it's for a house sit or just regular travel, or like this time when I'm here to apply for residency, right? The first thing that I do is check the number of days I've been given on my tourist visa. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. I flew into Costa Rica the same time last year and got 180 days on my tourist visa without any effort, right? How long are you staying? I say 6 months. They give me 6 months. That's it. This time I flew in, which was Tuesday. I flew into Costa Rica on Tuesday, and it's Saturday. And he said, "How long are you staying?" And I said, 6 months, even though I hadn't done, I think it was really 4 months. I'm really leaving in January. But I say 6 months, and he said, "I'll give you 90 days, right?" Okay, dude, whatever. Now, truth is, I am not staying for the full stretch. I'm coming and going several times. I got to go to Chicago. My computer's telling me I'm using too much memory. Ignore. I gotta go, not Chicago, I gotta go to Houston to see Beyonce in September. And then I'm going to Panama in October. I may be going to Mexico in November, right? So I really don't need any more than 1 month at a time. So him giving me 90 days on my tourist visa didn't hurt me at all, didn't affect my travel plans at all. But you do want to check that number. I've had a time where, one time in Mexico, because they had been giving me 180 days every time automatically. For when I would get in for house sits, I knew I could just stay and find more house sits and there would be no problems. But one time I was like, I don't know what day I have to leave here. Right? I don't want to, you don't want to be stuck overstaying your tourist visa. Some countries will not like that. And I think they can do, I think they stamp something on your passport that tells people you're an overstayer or something, right? You don't want to overstay the tourist visa. So I always check now after that one experience where I was like, I don't know which day I need to leave. I don't know. So always check how many days you got on your tourist visa. That's the very first thing I do. I do that before I finish, before I walk away from the person at the counter, right? He stamps it, I look at it, okay, 90 days, 180 days, somewhere in between, good to go. The next thing I do inside of the airport is I pull cash out of the ATM. People still ask about, what is the word? Converting money and converting cash. No, I'm not traveling with US dollars, first of all. I never have cash on me. I'm not traveling with a whole bunch of US dollars. And I absolutely do not want to convert my money in cash. That is when you're getting the worst deal, right? If you buy like I'm in Costa Rica. If I buy colones with US dollars, I'm getting the worst deal. My best deal, the best exchange rate that I'm going to get is by pulling money out of the ATM, right? So I try to do that in the airport. Now, I didn't do that this time. I thought I had some colones. It turns out I had the equivalent of about 5 US dollars. I had some colones in my wallet from the last time I was here. Um, and so I was like, and then something happened when I got to I think when I came in, the airport, the car rental place was right there. And so I went to the car rental place because I rented a car for a week. And so I forgot to go to the ATM. And then I looked in my wallet and I was like, this is $5. I had bills, several bills of colones, but it was $5. But normally I pull cash out of the ATM. I just don't like the feeling of not having cash, even though here I do a lot of things without cash, right? I had that same $5. I left it as a tip for the first Airbnb housekeeper because I've already moved Airbnbs. I left that $5 equivalent as a tip for the housekeeper in the Airbnb because that's all the cash I had. And I've been without cash since I got here, which was the day before yesterday, in this second Airbnb, with no problems, right? I've eaten, I've had food delivered, all of that, because everything is, use your card. But still, I do usually get cash in the ATM just so that you can feel a little bit of comfort, right? I got it. Then the next thing I normally do is buy a SIM card for that country. I don't have to I haven't bought a SIM card here yet, but I actually am going to. Normally in a new country, I buy a SIM card. Cell phones are a funny thing. In the United States, we're paying so much for data that it usually makes sense to switch to the local SIM card where you are in the country you're in. Unless you're in one of the countries that also has expensive data plans, it usually makes sense to buy a SIM card in the country you're going to and switch over, especially nowadays when phones are dual SIM. You can have an eSIM and an electronic SIM and the actual physical SIM card. You can switch back and forth. The problem with changing SIM cards in a new country is usually that every time somebody's like, verify, like every time you go to PayPal or you go to whatever, they're like, verify this PIN code we sent you. You have to change your SIM card back to verify it, right? Because they sent it to the number on the SIM. But now with dual SIM phones, it's easier to navigate. I have a dual SIM phone. I have the iPhone 13 something something, and it seems to be easier to navigate. I just haven't done it yet. I have Google Fi as my phone service, and lately they've been really snippy about how long I'm out of the US. There was a time in the beginning I could stay in Mexico for 6 months with my Google Fi SIM card, and no problem, right? But now they're like, after like, I think in Curacao was the first time I had the problem. After 90 days, they were like, you've been out of the United States so long, your thing is not working. You're Wi-Fi only now. Until you come back in the United States, no data. So I had to buy a SIM card down there. Here, I'm going to buy a SIM card just to see what it's like, how fast it is, how strong it is. Because I'm using Google Fi, they're using a local company, Claro, I think is the one that I'm usually connected to. There's Liberty and Claro here in San Jose anyway, and it seems to be fine, fast, good internet, good internet. Hey Tracy. Tracy says our cell phones in Mexico, $40 for two phones. US is definitely ripping us off. It is, yeah. $40 is $20, so $20 a month for that plan. I used to get the Amigo Sin Límite, right? The Friends Without Limits plan in Mexico on Telcel. $20 gave me 2 gigabytes of data. As a person who never leaves the house, 2 gigabytes of data is plenty because I'm on Wi-Fi almost all the time. Mom, I'm not going to explain it to you. My mom and dad, one time my parents were like, what were they asking me? My dad decided that he was going to turn his data off, toggle the data off on his phone so he only used Wi-Fi. And then he didn't understand why he couldn't get on the house Wi-Fi when he's, down the street. I'm like, "Dad, I know you understand Wi-Fi. Sometimes I think they be playing me, right? Them senior citizens, I'm like, Dad, I know you understand the house Wi-Fi because you had the man come and do whatever, whatever. You understand that this Wi-Fi is in this house and you can't use this Wi-Fi when you leave this house. You can't be 30 miles away talking about how come I can't use my Wi-Fi, right? But so I'm not going to explain that to you if you don't understand. I don't have the patience, but I will. But understand that your cell phone plan in another country will probably be much less than what you would be paying monthly in the U.S. If you're able to suspend or pause your cell phone plan in the US, you probably would want to do that. Unless it's going to be super annoying every time. Unless you have to if you're running a business, I think you really do need to keep the US SIM card. That US phone number, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I think you do need to keep that U.S. phone number as well as the local phone number, because every time you try to verify, what is it? Who just said my bank? Every bank. So right now I'm banking with 3 different banks, plus because I have 2 business bank accounts. I mean 2 personal banks, and then a third bank for business things. Actually, and then a fourth bank for Exodus Summit business things, plus PayPal. Every time you go to log into something, they're like, we just sent you a PIN code. Please tell us the PIN code, right? We texted this to you. So for that reason, it's important for me to keep the Google Fi number, but use the local number as much as possible for that data plan. Kimberly, I have Amigo Sin Limite, 150 pesos in Mexico. 150 pesos is not very much money. Do I know this conversion? I know for 200 pesos was $10. So 150 pesos would be less than $10. 750. Well, before the peso. So I just read an article about how strong the peso is. The peso is very strong now. So what you get in US dollars for the peso is less than it used to be. But so it's probably much more than 750 today or $10 today. But it used to be $10. 20, 200 pesos. Yeah, 200 pesos was $10. That's what I used to pay for the month. Good morning, Rashida. All right. Yes, I've been looking at Claro for visiting Mexico. In both Mexico City and Guadalajara, Lake Chapala areas, I had Telcel, and I have no problems using Telcel. You just go once you land at the airport, you go to the counter, the Telcel counter, the cell phone counter. You'll see them. They're a kiosk in every airport I've ever been in. There's a cell phone kiosk. Go up to them, hand them your phone. They'll probably ask you how long you're in town for. In Mexico, they just had like a little laminated card, and they were like, point to what you want. And one said, 200 pesos, 2 gigs of data, something like that. And I was like, this one, right? They do it all. They put it in, they activate it, they get you started. They do it all. And then if you don't want to figure out how to re-up every month, if you don't want to figure out, because usually it's just like put this PIN number in and then do this and do that. If you don't want to figure it out, you can go back to any store that has that cell phone logo, the Telcel logo. They'll do it for you. They'll take your payment. In Mexico, it's probably in the, what's the name of that? The 7-Eleven down there. That's where you pay your bills and you do everything. They pay their bills in those stores all the time. So. But Telcel was the one that I've had experience with and had no problems with, and no problems. No problems. Child, I was like, I know good and well. Sometimes I'd be like, are they playing me? Right? I said the other day, I don't know, is it fair to call them senior citizens when they expect to live to be well over 100? Because everybody's family's got 100-year-olds now. Like somebody's 99 in your family right now. So I expect them to live quite a while, right? So I don't know that they're senior citizens anymore. We need another word, or we just need to extend middle age, I think. But they do some senior citizen stuff. They do some senior citizen stuff. I'm like, I know good and well, you know. I'll be like, what in the world? Now, I know I've asked some dumb questions in my life, okay? But you don't expect your parents to ask you dumb questions. Adelia says Telcel has the best coverage in Mexico. Okay, yeah, I had no problem with them. Yes, Rashida, I use Telcel in Mexico, affordable and easy. Rashida and Adelia both live in Mexico City. No problem. OXO, thank you. Yeah, that's the name of the store. So if you're in Mexico and you get the Mexico SIM card, you get your Telcel SIM card, go to OXO when you need to pay. I used to re-up mine on my phone in Spanish because I'm a boss. I used to re-up mine, right? It was just like dial pound, whatever, whatever, and then put in this and put in that. I used to do mine. So it's not impossible, but you can also just go to the OXO, hand them your money. They'll do it all for you. Mexico is a place where things are convenient and things really work, including that. So pretty particular asks if Telcel offers the eSIM. I think you're more likely to have the eSIM, use your American company as the eSIM. I think that's probably the easiest route. Maybe that's not my eyebrow. I keep trying to wipe this off, but maybe it's not my eyebrow. It's just a shadow. I draw my eyebrows on. They're, okay, I don't want to draw attention to them because they don't look all that balanced. They're not looking that balanced. Evelyn says, when you get that SIM card, does it allow for calling your contacts in WhatsApp? Yes. You have data. You have a data plan. So yes, you can use WhatsApp. You have an actual phone number in Mexico, so you could use that phone number if you want. But yes, so what you're really going to use is WhatsApp. WhatsApp, FaceTime, all of that. In some countries, your SIM card your data plan includes unlimited social networks. Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, all of that is unlimited. It doesn't count against your data. I don't remember Telcel, but I know in Cambodia and Vietnam and the Philippines, probably Thailand. I don't remember Thailand. But in those countries, those things did not count against your data. They were unlimited and free. I went to Cambodia one time. I was in Cambodia for a while, so I went to re-up my data plan. And she asked me how many gigabytes I wanted. And I was like 2 or 4 or whatever. And she was like, what you gonna do with 2 gigabytes of data? You don't need that, right? And I was forgetting that all the stuff I was gonna use was free. It didn't count. She was even like, you just wasting your money, but whatever. Seriously. Seriously, I knew, I don't speak Cambodian, right? I don't speak, was it Khmer? But I understood what she was telling me. But I didn't know, right? But everything that I was using there throughout the day, because I wasn't working there, right? I was just, traveling. Everything I was using didn't count against the data. So yes, we are getting ripped off in the United States, okay? Oh, T.E. Gaskin said, I have much anxiety over my cell phone coverage. Um, it's probably going to be easier than you think. I would say, so number one, get your phone unlocked if it's not unlocked, right? If they will let you, if your phone company is, in the US, they lock your phones, you get your phone with AT&T or whoever, they lock your phone until whatever date. If it's, whatever. I don't really understand how that works, right? So get your phone unlocked if it's locked, and then just get your SIM card, the SIM card that you're using in the US, get the eSIM version and enter that information into your phone. And then when you get to a new country, get the SIM card. They'll just, like, seriously, it's always a young person at a counter. You just hand them your phone. They know you don't know, okay? Just like me and my parents. They know you don't know. You hand them your phone, they do it all. They take your money. They take your money. That's it, right? Alicia, I have Mint Mobile for $380 a year for US. $380 a year is 30 something dollars a month. Wonderful. Okay. And Telcel SIM that I recharge for $15, unlimited data per month. Oh, $15 unlimited? Things have changed. Things have changed. I'm pretty sure. That's good. That's a good price. $15 per month, unlimited data. Okay? All right. Yeah, prices have changed. I'm pretty sure unlimited data back in my day, a couple of years ago, for Telcel was something around 25. Oh, still wasn't that much, 25 or $30 a month. But I didn't need unlimited data because, like I said, I don't leave the house. Okay, all right, all right. Yeah, we need another name for them because they're not senior citizens. They're not the oldest people. There are plenty of people much older, but they know how to act like senior citizens when they need to. Just A says seasoned. Okay. My mom said they're just conversation starters. It's the conversation enders. I'll be like, listen, I got to go. I got to go. I can't stay here with y'all asking me these questions. I got to go. I know good and well you didn't ask me why you can't connect to the Wi-Fi when you're in another town. Yeah, right. Down to Earth says her granny is 95. Yeah, we got 99-year-olds at the family reunion. I was shown a picture of our 99-year-old. I guess he would be my dad's second cousin or something. 99-year-old. He drives, still drives a car. Right, living a regular life at 99. So I don't think so. 65-year-olds are not senior citizens anymore. Not anymore. Yes, so you need an unlocked phone. Right, your U.S. carrier needs to unlock your phone. Now, they have to do it, but I don't know when. I don't know if it's once the phone is paid off, once you've had the phone for a year, right? They have to unlock your phone, but they decide the rules, like, you know how cell phone companies are. But yes, you have to unlock your phone to do that. For some, if you have a brand new U.S. phone and you're going out of the country for a significant amount of time, a month, 3 months, 6 months, it may behoove you to buy an inexpensive unlocked phone so that you can have data where you're going. My original plan when I took my gap year, in 2015, I quit my job to travel for a year, and that's when I was in Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, Indonesia, the Philippines, right? That's when I did all that traveling around. And I kept my old phone. So back then I had like iPhone 5S, five something. I drowned it and I had to buy another phone while I was in the Philippines. And I kept that old phone around. The screen didn't work, but I kept it around as a decoy in case somebody tried to rob me and was like, give me your phone. I would just give them that phone. I never got to use it, so which is a good thing. But I saw a video not too long ago of a woman on a bus, and you could see she was on the bus with her phone, and there was a security camera. A robber came onto the bus. She smooth slid that phone away, pulled out another phone, and handed him that one. She's like, "Here, you take this whack ass phone. I'm keeping my good stuff, okay?" That was my plan. But it may benefit you to have two phones if you can't get your U.S. phone unlocked and you want data in the country you're going to. Okay? Yeah. T-Mobile has eSIM. I think every provider I think now has eSIM. You just have to get the information from them and put it in your phone. Might be worth going to the store to do, going to the provider, going to Verizon, AT&T, whoever to do it. Okay, all right, so we're only on two things. How are we doing? At the airport, check out the days I've been given on my tourist visa. Check out how many days I'm allowed to stay in this country. Don't get caught with the okey doke, right? Because he straight up said, I'm giving you 90 days. I was like, I would like 180. I'm giving you 90 days. Okay, friend, okay. I got no complaints. Number two, I pull cash out of the ATM. Number three, I buy a SIM card. Those are the things I do so that I know I can have a more comfortable time in that country, whether I'm there house sitting for a couple weeks or I'm there for months and months and months, bopping around. Next, in the Uber. In the Uber, I ask if I'm taking Uber, which I don't always. Sometimes, some places, because airports, are generally out of town, outside of the town, or city. Sometimes there's a really inexpensive like bus or shuttle or train, metro, right? But if not, or if I can't figure it out, if I'm too tired and I'm too sweaty and all of that, I got too many bags. Lately, since I've stopped being carry-on only, I usually take Uber because I don't want to deal with all these bags on the metro, right? Even in Chicago. So I got to Chicago. I got to Chicago and had the Uber sticker shock again. Every time I get back in the US, I'm like, this is so much money. But I didn't want to take the metro. It was, I think, $50, $60 to get to the airport and more, 75, I think, to get back. Stupid, stupid, stupid. If I had been a little more patient, I would have taken the metro. But I just, you know how it is sometimes. You're like, which is the lesser of two evils? I believe in spending your money. I believe in spending your money and saving your time, your sanity, your patience. And I didn't want to be all frustrated all day. Starting out bad, it's hard for me to recover. It's hard for me to recover. So I try to make sure that I have the comforts and conveniences I want. But anyway, when I take an Uber in a new country, I always ask the Uber driver, what is y'all's delivery app? What is the app to get food delivered? Right? It's going to take some commotion and some pointing and some translating, which is why it's good that I have a data plan in that country. Translating, what is it called? In a lot of Latin America, it's the same. Well, I haven't been to a lot of Latin America, but based on the app, when I log on to, I got here and I logged on to Rappi, it was like, which country are you in? And there was a whole bunch of countries in Latin America. So Rappi is, Latin America heavy. But when I got to El Salvador, he was like global, different app, right? So I always ask, what is your food delivery app? Ask the Uber driver. That's the thing you want to know before you get, before you get hungry. Before you get hungry, ask your Uber driver, what is the food delivery app? So he got me on Glovo. I still get alerts from them. I got to turn them off because I'm not going back to El Salvador anytime soon, I don't think. But I went for Adelia and Ivana's retreat, Reclaim the Retreat, and I understand that they still had two spots for their Thanksgiving November retreat. I don't know that it's Thanksgiving week, but they have a retreat in El Salvador in November. ReclaimTheRetreat.com is where you get your information about that. If the spots are sold out, apologies, but we've been talking about it, so. Okay. Girl, I was like, what? Do you know? So in Mexico, you can land at the airport in Guadalajara. You can take an Uber to your house or house sit in Lake Chapala which is probably 30 minutes or more away, 30, 45-minute ride, it's like $20. Now again, I haven't been to Lake Chapala in 2 years now, but it was like $20, right? A 45-minute ride. You telling me a 15-minute Uber here is $75 in Chicago? I had the same experience in Miami, so I know. It's not like I don't know, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I'll tell you that much. I don't like it. Hi, Celeste. Celeste says Tipti was the app in Ecuador. Yeah, so I ask that driver, if I don't have anything else to say to you, I'm asking you, what is the food delivery app here? Okay? I'm not going to wait till I'm hungry. Try to figure out how to get food because I also generally stay in the house for when I first get there. Flying on airplanes is the most dangerous thing I do as a person who does not want to spread COVID around the world, right? Flights are the ground zero of COVID. And so I try my hardest to stay in the house. It's not hard for me as a homebody. So I get stuff delivered. So I need to know. I need to know. I need to know how to get these things done. Down to Earth says, I hate that I missed the Chicago meetup. The Chicago Exodus Squad gang is lit, okay? Connect with them. Connect with them. Go over to the Exodus Summit Facebook community. Say hey to them, maybe under that post or somewhere, and ask them when they're getting together again because you don't want to miss it. Okay? They were wonderful. So I've been to meetups in a few different cities. Okay? So I don't want to say that they're better than other cities. But that gang was like very Chicago, just what you would expect if you've ever met a black woman from Chicago. How does Chicago produce such wonderful black women? But the men are, how does Chicago give us those women and like Kanye? How does one city do? How is it possible? How does Chicago give us? You listen. Anytime you meet a black woman from Chicago, I don't care where she lives today. She gonna let you know she's from Chicago, and she gonna let you know what side of town she's from, and she's gonna be wonderful, right? Jamie in Atlanta. Always, I'm from Chicago. Remember Jamie in Atlanta? Rashida and I interviewed her, and someone in Paris stole her purse while she was taking pictures at the Eiffel Tower, and she chased him down and got it back, and he apologized to her. And she was like, I'm from Chicago. This crowd was very Chicago, very warm, very wonderful. So you want to be in with them, okay? Even Tasha drove from Detroit to Chicago to come hang out with them. A wonderful group. They took me to a second location, which Rashida says, oh, it never let people take you to a second location. They left the meetup in my hotel room, which was without food or drink, okay? BYOB. And we went out to eat. At the restaurant, it was Kimberly's birthday, so we sang happy birthday to Kimberly, who was in one of the meetup gang. It was also Deja's birthday at another table. We don't know Deja. We sang happy birthday to Deja. Okay? A wedding party walked through. The entire restaurant cheered like they knew that bride and groom. I mean, not just clapping and not just like, oh, look, it's a wedding. I mean, like up, like, yes. Very Chicago, okay? So Chicago. So you want to be with those women. Get yourself into, I'm supposed to be finding the link. Get yourself into the Exodus Summit Facebook community and holler at them. Ask them when they're getting together again, okay? I've had wonderful meetups recently in Philadelphia, we got met up in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, in London, right? Wonderful meetups are happening all over the world. The Exodus Summit community is a community for women like us, right? Black women who are planning their exodus, planning a move abroad, a career break, house sitting, nomadic living, something, right? If you need community with these type of women because your community doesn't get it yet, right? You're a little early and your family, your friends may not get it yet. You want to be in community with the Exodus Summit gang. We're at exodussummit.com/community, or you could just look for Exodus Summit on Facebook, okay? The meetups are community folk, like Rashida and I don't need to be there for the meetups to happen. In fact, we have not been to 90% of the meetups. We can't, okay? The meetups happen with you. You are in charge of the meetups. Anyone in the Exodus Summit community says, hey, let's meet up here at this time on this date. And it happens, right? It's a wonderful community, a wonderful place that you want to be a part of, seriously. Some of you have never really been in community with Black women only. You've never had a time in your life where it was just Black women. And I can tell because when you get there, you're like, this is so wonderful. Everybody's so supportive. Everybody's so nice. Everybody's so good. Everybody's so understanding. Everybody's so wonderful, right? Yes. Yes. Chicago sisters are awesome. The men, girl, no. Seriously, I can't stop thinking about that. How is it possible to have allergies? I hope it's allergies, Lord. Please let it just be allergies. I took some Sudafed this morning. How is it possible that Chicago, some of my favorite women who I've met around the world are from Chicago, right? Some of the women I met, Jazz in Vietnam, who just was like, hello, friend. Now let's go ride our scooters to the big city and do this and do that, right? Let's take some awesome selfies and do some pictures and do a photo shoot, right? From Chicago. I've met women who have gone out of their way to extend themselves to me. Well, in general, Black women do that. But Black women from Chicago are next level. I'm sorry, the rest of y'all, other cities, I'm gonna let y'all finish. Other cities are great, but Chicago Black women are next level. I don't know. I need to stop. I need to stop because everybody else gonna be mad. Everybody else gonna be mad. Don't be mad. I'm just telling you, it's just different. And so I don't understand the men. I don't understand the men. How is it possible? How is it possible? Somebody explain it to me. All right. But I've been welcomed. Rashida and I have been welcomed in cities all over the world by the women who are there. All right. Every meetup I've been to has been wonderful. It's been a fantastic experience to see you guys get together, right? Not need us there for you to get together and bond and then form community and sisterhood. In the Exodus Summit Facebook group, some of y'all had some Labor Day get-togethers. I, okay, I do want you getting together without me. And Rashida, we want you getting together without me, but also like, at least send an invitation. You know we can't come, but can you at least invite me? I mean, I like to see y'all having fun. I appreciate it. I love to see y'all having fun together, but an invitation could be extended. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Okay? All right. Yeah, Tracy agrees with me. Chicago women open their hearts and homes to you. Unforgettable. Yeah, there's something. There's something there. There's something, right? Deborah, pray for Morocco due to the earthquake. Yeah, so we were in Marrakesh not too long ago. There was an earthquake outside of Morocco that was devastating. And one of the women, at least one of the women inside the Exodus Summit community is in Marrakesh and reported that she and her son are safe. So I want to say this without being alarmist, but we say all the time, if you want to go someplace, right, but you can't go right now. We be like, oh, it ain't going nowhere, right? It ain't going nowhere. But places do change. They experience changes, sometimes devastating, sometimes small changes that just mean it's not the same as it was. And so we do want to get to places while we can. We don't want to keep putting it off for someday, right? I'm not saying hurry up and visit every place you ever wanted to visit or you're never going to get there. No, right? But everything changes. Everything changes. And if there's a place that you've really wanted to visit, it's time to get yourself a plan to get there, right? Get yourself a plan. When I was in Southeast Asia during that year of travel, I really wanted to go to Sri Lanka. But it was going to cost me about $400 in flights, additional flights. I think 200 there and 200 back, maybe $500 in additional flights. Everything else was going to cost me about the same. In Southeast Asia, food is inexpensive and hostels and stuff are inexpensive. But the flights were going to cost me about an extra $400. And like I said, I drowned my phone. I'd lost some money. I'd been I needed to recoup some of my budget. So I didn't go to Sri Lanka. And it looked like a place that I was just going to love. Real chill and laid back. Like this is my opinion, having never been there. Looked like India, but real chill, right? Where India looks scary and overwhelming, Sri Lanka looked real chill, real relaxed and laid back. You can get a tuk-tuk driver. I don't know if they call them tuk-tuks there, but get a tuk-tuk driver to drive you around. You can rent your own tuk-tuk, right? Beaches were beautiful. Sri Lanka is near the Maldives, kind of. Beautiful beaches. But Sri Lanka, and I didn't go. I didn't go. I didn't spend the 500 extra dollars it would cost me, which was, it was the right, it was, I think it was the right decision. But Sri Lanka is not the same, right? Sri Lanka had an economic collapse just a couple years ago, not long ago. An economic and political collapse, right? Tunisia, another place. Tunisia's reminded me of a Morocco. I haven't been to Tunisia. Again, this is my uninformed opinion, okay? This is just me talking and guessing and hoping and wishing. Tunisia looked to me like a chill, laid back Morocco, right? I'm not into hustle and bustle. And Tunisia looked beautiful. But Tunisia had some terrorist attacks that at the time meant I'm not going, right? I'm not going. It's been quite a while, quite a while. It's been a while. And, we live in a place where we have terrorist attacks every day. So. But places do change and things happen. So I think that it's time to make sure that we get our plan together and get there and stop talking about someday, someday, someday. Tracy says, I wish I had traveled more during the Obama years when the world liked us. That's real. That's real talk. I did travel during the Obama years, and people would just yell out to me in the street, Obama! Indonesians, because Barack Obama lived in Indonesia as a child. I mean, they love some Obama and they love some Black Americans. I mean, just Obama. There's one picture I have where I was it must have been in Indonesia, but not Bali. I was taking a selfie. No, I think that was Vietnam. I think it was the place in Vietnam that's known for those, I'm just doing this, known for those like mountains and the water, and you can get in there on a boat. Anyway, I think it was there. I was there taking a selfie, and I took the selfie right as the man rode by and yelled, Obama, on his scooter. And I just cracked up laughing. There was really something to it. I remember traveling when George H.W. Bush was president. People did not like him, right? And then and then traveling when Trump was president, and right? I had a little boy let me have it in Mexico, in a McDonald's in Mexico, about Trump. A 7-year-old child let me have it. He said, ¿Eres de America Central? Are you from Central America? I said, no, I'm from the United States. He said, I don't know what he said. He kept saying something about el muro, el muro. And I was like, I know that word. I know burro is donkey. What is muro? What is muro? And then his sister said, the wall. I was like, that's not me. So he was there for his birthday. He had a little 7 balloon. It was his birthday party. He had a little 7 balloon. He had his little ice cream. He let me have it in that McDonald's. And then he came and sat with me at the table. He was adorable. He came and sat with me at the table. He really loved like world politics. He talked to me about the Soviet Union. I guess he tried to pick something that he thought I would be able to understand in Spanish. Yeah, right? Yeah, they were good times. Latasha says they were traveling during Obama times was great. High times. Pull out that American accent, right? Let people hear you. Let them know let them know so they can tell you how much they love you. I'm right across from a park, and when I tell you these people are cheering for these children playing soccer as if it was the professional soccer league. First of all, they got here before 7 a.m. here. 6 something while I'm trying to get myself together this morning. They're already here unpacking their cars and stuff. Because Costa Rica, they don't change time, right? And so it's bright first, like 5 o'clock in the morning, it's daylight. And then rainy season, which we're still in, means that the rain is coming at noon. So you got to get all your outdoor activities in before noon. So they were out here bright and early, 6 something, 6:45. He's out here unpacking his car with small just children, all age children out here living. Anyway, I don't know if you can hear them, but they are cheering for these kids like they are professionals. He was like something something El Muro, and then his sister was like kind of like not embarrassed, but his sister just didn't. She didn't want to translate. She was like, I don't. I know, sis. I know you didn't come here for this. I didn't. But he was like talking to me, like gesturing. Here is you. Here, let me tell you what about yourself. Here is your problem. In the line at McDonald's, I couldn't get my apple pie fast enough. Another thing that's not on my list, another thing I do when I get to another country to feel comfortable is I buy me a McDonald's apple pie. Because in the rest of the world, McDonald's apple pie is still the deep fried apple pie. I buy my apple pie all around the world. I eat McDonald's all over the world without shame. So I was getting my apple pie. Sometimes I'll get a full meal so it doesn't seem strange that I'm here just to order apple pie. Other times I'm like, give me 3 apple pies to go. Thank you. He was letting me have it. El Muro, something, something, and something, something, something. I don't know because I don't speak enough Spanish to know. And she was like, he's talking about the wall. So tried to explain to him, sometimes the president does things that people don't agree with. I tried my hardest. I tried my hardest. He let me know, okay? So yeah, places change. Your relationship to places change. So stop waiting. Stop putting it off. It's time to get your plan together. Our passport value will change, right? We get one more bad president, and other countries are not going to keep us on the level of like, sure, you can get 90 days, sure, you can get 180 days, right? Places change. So if you're looking to get a plan together to see some things, whether it's to move abroad or just spend some extended time traveling, you just want to bop around. Let me point you to Exodus Summit 2023. This is perfect timing. I'm so glad you're here right now. Exodus Summit 2023 is our virtual summit, our conference, online for Black women who are into career breaks, who want to plan one or take a sabbatical, for Black women who want to live abroad, who want to live nomadically, bop around for a while, right? The Exodus Summit is happening October 6th through 9, 2023, all online. Tickets are now available at exodussummit.com. This year's theme is financial freedom, location freedom, and time freedom for Black women. Every time I say it in a different order. It's those 3 things. I think we should start with location freedom. Location freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom for Black women. Our speakers are coming in October 6th through 9th to get you there, to get you your plan together, okay? If right now the idea of me coming to Costa Rica for a little while, even though I'm not house sitting, coming to Costa Rica for a while, and then I'm going to the Caribbean in January, and then I'm going to South Africa in February with the Exodus Summit Squad. If living like that seems like a dream to you, come to Exodus Summit 2023 so that you can turn it from a dream into a plan. There are plenty of women in this chat right now who just dreamed about it. Maybe didn't even know that it was a dream, who are planning it or actually living it out already. This is our 4th year for Exodus Summit. So we've got 3 years of alumni, 3 years of Black women who have attended Exodus Summit, who have learned from our speakers, and who are now living a new way. Whether it's they take career breaks every year. I take a break every year, right? I take a sabbatical every year. Or I took a 6-month sabbatical or 1-year sabbatical where I did not work. Or I moved abroad. Oh, yeah. I live in Querétaro, Mexico. Oh, yeah. I live in Panama. Boquete. What is it called? Boquete, Panama, right? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I've moved. I don't live in the United States anymore. This is a time and a place where we transform from, oh, that would be nice, to here's how I'm going to do it. I say this a lot, being in control of your life, having agency over your life, that's Black power. That's Black power. being the person who dictates how you live your life, right? Not the United States of America, not Black excellence telling you to strive and strive and strain and strain and achieve, 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 right? Those things should not be the boss of you. Those things are not the boss of Black women. You are the boss of you. That's Black power. You being the boss of you. I think the way to reject the things that we want to reject, right? I think the pathway to that rejecting of striving and trying to prove ourselves to white people, I think the pathway to rejecting having to live in an unsafe place and just having to look over your shoulder at all times because you don't know what's going to happen. I think that the pathway to rejecting those things is location freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom. And so that's what we're covering in Exodus Summit 2023. The session speakers, so we have some regular session speakers coming in to give you the tools to get these things, right? So, of course, I'm teaching house sitting. I'm a house sitter. I get free accommodation. I'm teaching house sitting in Exodus Summit. Rashida is teaching career breaks. Her workshop will be on career breaks, on how to take a career break, not how to dream about it, not how to wish, how you, friend, you can take a career break. You can take a sabbatical. You can take significant time in your adult life, pre-senior citizen age, where you don't work, where work is not the boss of you. Of course, we've got Team Zekis coming in to talk to you about getting paid the salary you deserve. Libria Jones is coming in to teach you how to use AI tools to get remote work, right? If location freedom would just free you up to be all of you, right? Hold on, I'm sorry, I got allergies. I hope it's just allergies. Okay, I'm sorry. Libria Jones is coming in to do a session on finding remote work using AI tools. A lot has changed in the last year. Libria's session last year was phenomenal on finding remote work. The main takeaway that I have, being a person who's not looking for work, okay, my main takeaway is that you untether yourself from a job title. You need to get very clear on your skills, your experience, all of these things, but stop looking for jobs only with a specific job title, okay? But things have really changed in the remote work search world in the last year. Artificial intelligence is here, and it's here for us to use to our advantages. So Libria's session is on using AI tools to find remote work. Coach Tish is here to help you coach yourself to freedom. If you've been a procrastinator, a putter offer of things, if you've struggled with self-doubt, and imposter syndrome, Coach Tish's session will get you all the way together. Okay, Coach Tish, I once, when I think, was she here? Where did we interview her? Here or on the other channel, on the Exodus Summit channel? I said, you're the imposter. Oh, no, I think it might have been in the challenge. I said, you're the imposter syndrome coach. And she was like, no. And I was like, well, I apologize. That's what I think of. But if that's you, she'll get you together, okay? Let me get on the site. Let me get on ExodusSummit.com myself so that we can look at these sessions together because I'm going to miss some. ExodusSummit.com. If you want to click on there right now, let's click on there together. .com. I can do it. I can do it. Because I want to tell you, we were able to put up some session names, even though the times are not correct. I need to tell you that. Let me see if I can share my screen. How how hard will it be? Let me move this. ExodusSummit.com. Y'all know that. Okay, so I believe I'm sharing my screen now. So we were able to share some speakers quite a while ago, but we weren't able to share some sessions. Some of the sessions that we're having, that the speakers are coming in to to teach. I'm going to come back to this page. You see the speakers that are here, but I want to come back. I want to talk to you about some of the sessions that are happening. So we see it's moving fast. Healthcare abroad, a reason to move, not a reason to stay. We have a session on moving abroad as a multi-generational family. It's moving so fast. We've got Rachel Cargill who's doing a keynote session for the all access pass holders. Um, the lies we tell ourselves about sabbaticals, by Erica Totten. Let's see. Okay. It's moving, it's moving. I told you about generations moving abroad. House sitting, I'm teaching house sitting for free accommodation. Okay, Krishan's session, which is not listed down here because the title, I don't remember if we have come up with a title for her session yet. Krishan's session is about scouting out a new location. How do you find a place that might work for you? And then how do you scout it out? How do you go there and find out for real? So that you can move to a new country and thrive. You can move to a new country that will be your new home and not just, it's okay, but a place that you'll actually thrive. There it is. How to use AI to supercharge your remote work quest with Libria Jones. Okay, and then Rashida says I can announce a new speaker, Dr. Marielle Bouquet, who is her book is on breaking generational trauma. No, we don't call it breaking generational trauma. We call it healing from generational trauma. Dr. Marielle Bouquet is a therapist whose specialty is healing generational trauma. She's doing a session at Exodus Summit 2023. She's the newest person that we can announce, which is very exciting. And her session is going to help some of you lay down some of the responsibilities that you've been carrying around, right? Some of the, okay, my hope, I don't know. My hope is Dr. Bouquet will convince some of you to quit your jobs. Yes. Dr. Bouquet will convince some of you to leave your country. Yes. But also, Dr. Bouquet is going to convince some of y'all to leave your marriages and relationships, right? Lay down the things that are a result of the traumas that you have experienced, you and previous generations. Lay them down and then heal and then move towards wholeness, move towards peace and thriving. Dr. Marielle Bouquet her book comes out in January, but she's coming to talk to us about this, healing from this trauma, breaking the curses, and then moving towards what's new for you. Okay? So the Exodus Summit, these tickets are at Exodus Summit 2023. So except for Dr. Bouquet, these top row of speakers, Tabitha Brown, Rachel Cargill, and Dr. Joy Harden Bradford of Therapy for Black Girls, they're keynote speakers. And if you want to attend a keynote session, you'll need to have your all access pass. If you have your all access pass to Exodus Summit 2023, you'll be able to attend a keynote session, the keynote sessions, plural. Tabitha Brown, Rachel Cargill, and Dr. Joy Harden Bradford of Therapy for Black Girls. All of the others, and you'll also get an extra workshop with Octavia Rahim. She's doing two, one for everyone, and then another one just for all access pass holders. She's doing a workshop called Embodying Rest, right? Building a deeper rest practice. She's coming to rest us, okay? She's coming to rest us once during the summit and then once about a month later. Okay, so Tabitha Brown, Rachel Cargill, Dr. Joy Harden Bradford, and this special session with Octavia Rahim are for all access pass holders only. Everything else is for the weekend pass holder. Okay, now and then let's talk about one more thing we've changed. One more thing that we've added. Rashida and I added something just yesterday. Let me get back on the screen. I miss y'all. Let's see. Ecamm Live. Stop sharing. Go back to camera. Okay. One more thing that Rashida and I added to the summit just yesterday. So we have like a get together happy hour type thing happening. But for all access pass holders, just yesterday, we have decided to add in some small group breakout rooms. I don't know if you like that term. We may need a jazzier term, but we're adding some small group breakout rooms. You'll be able to get together based on things that you're interested in small groups and get to know each other, right? We don't have the people set up yet to who we're going to be we don't have the room set up or like the host set up yet. But I'm hoping that there'll be a small group for crafters, right? Black women who like crafting. There'll be a small group for black women who are in, I don't know, I shouldn't name them. I shouldn't name them because we don't have them yet. Rashida's about to tell me to stop. We don't have them set up yet. But there'll be some very small groups. Salons. Oh, thanks, Junkat. Y'all are so helpful. Everybody's so helpful. Salons is lovely. That's a good word. That's a good word. There'll be some salons, small groups based on special interests that the All Access Pass holders can go to. What comes out of the summit every year is black women making connections. No, that's not strong enough. Friendships. Okay, black women forming friendships and accountability groups. I talked to someone just yesterday who said, oh, yeah, I still talk to my accountability partner. We get together every month. Was that Samira? I just have the wrong notebook here. Somebody I just talked to yesterday said, yeah, my accountability partner and I did a coaching call yesterday. My accountability partner and I get together. We still get together every month. My accountability partner from Exodus Summit 22 and I still get together once a month. Yes, okay? Yes, yes to that. We have within our community, we have what we need inside of our community. If what you need to get to the new thing that you want for yourself is accountability, right? It's a partner. Maybe it's a roommate. You can find those things inside of Exodus Summit 2023. Okay, get your all access pass, get your ticket at exodussummit.com. Pricing goes up October 5th or 6th. I think the last day for these prices is October 5th, okay? So go ahead and get your tickets so you don't forget, because if you wait until the summit starts, the prices are higher, okay? Yeah, I like the idea of salons, Junket. Okay. And then Anita, who is is Global Granny, says she wants a salon for Team Bop. Okay, right? If she wants a salon for those who want to bop around. I think this is an amazing idea. We're going to have the weekend pass holders, don't get upset, okay? You're still going to be able to come to happy hour. But the small group things are happening for the all access pass holders. If you have your weekend pass and you want to upgrade to the all access pass, look in your inbox for an email called How to Upgrade. Okay, we've been sending them how to upgrade because some of y'all have been doing it already. Once we announced some our previous speakers, some of y'all upgraded already. Okay. If you know that you're going to want the all access pass, but you just don't have it today, you can do a couple of things. You can buy the weekend pass today and then upgrade to the all access pass later. Okay, you have until October 5th at these prices. Upgrade. You'll get a discount. You'll get a coupon, right, that you apply towards the next purchase. When you buy the weekend pass, you get a coupon that you can apply to the all access pass, right? So you're not paying any extra to get the all access pass as long as you get it at this price before October 5th. Okay, you can also just break up the payments yourself. It's a new day, it's 2023, and you can create your own payment plans out here. If you are already using Klarna or Affirm or Afterpay, you can use one of them and set up your payment plan that way. We don't have a payment plan ourselves through the summit because you can do it on your own. It's easy. And Shauna says Revolt doesn't charge fees, but I did notice the conversion rate was about. Oh, you're talking about converting cash. Yeah, converting cash. Okay. Oh, no happy hours this year. We're having events. Well, we have yes, the weekend pass holder gets an event, which right now is called a happy hour on the site, which I need to change. Okay. It's called a happy hour on the ticket site, but it's an event. A party. I think it's a party. Can we call it a party? It's a party. Okay, we're having a party. But if you have the all access pass, you can come to the small breakout rooms, the salons. Okay, get to meet some women who are into the things you're into, or who are into things you want to be into. Just today, I looked up 10K races. Where can I run a 10K? The end of this year or early next year. I might be pushing it. That might be too soon, but right, find some women who are into your thing. Okay, all right. Klarna. Dawn says she used Klarna. Easy. Okay. Yeah. So you can set up your own payment plan. It's amazing. 2023 is an amazing time to be out here, isn't it? Isn't it? You can do anything now with your phone. Okay. Social hour. Yeah. I really like salon. I think we're going to call it a salon. So Exodus Summit 2023, be there. Where were we on my list of things that I do? Okay, so we're talking about the things that I do when you get, of course, the link to Exodus Summit 2023 is in the description of this video. So if you're watching the replay, hello, friends in the future. I hope it's wonderful there. The link is in the description of this video, exodussummit.com. So at the airport, I check the day, check how many days I've been given on my tourist visa. I pull cash out of the ATM, I buy a SIM card. Now I know I can be comfortable, I can do things in that country without feeling stressed, feeling that knot in my stomach. In the Uber, I ask what the delivery app is called, and I get it. I download it, so I can get my stuff delivered. Convenient, comfort, homey, right? At the Airbnb, I pin the Airbnb location or the house sit address. I pin it in Google Maps. Fun fact, Costa Rica does not use house numbers. I've stayed in probably 10 different locations in Costa Rica. In San Jose, at the beach. 10, yeah, because I was here 6 months last time and I moved almost every month. Yeah, and now I'm here. So eight to 10, not one of them has given me an address with a house number on it. That's not how they do it. They give you the street name and the color of the house. So I pinned my location. I'm not going to be out here not knowing how to get home, okay? I pinned my location, right? This one, he gave me the street number. He gave me the apartment number. I'm actually in an apartment building this time. He gave me the street number and the apartment number, but no house number. Okay, so I pinned my location so I can get back here. Places are funny. Different places have different quirks, right? Places are funny. The next thing I do when I get to the Airbnb is I figure out, or the house sit, is I figure out how to use the local transportation, whatever that is. I'm the kind of person who, if I don't figure it out right away and I don't get comfortable with it right away, then I'm never going to use it. If I don't get on the metro that first day, or if I don't use like in the Philippines, they have those big buses that are just like jitney. Is it called a jitney? If I don't get on it the first day, I'm never going to get on it, which is why I never used public transportation in Curacao. Either I walked, I took an Uber, or I drove, I rented a car. The rest of the time, when I was there with no car, they would drive by and I would see them. And I've done this in Asia. I know how to hop on the back of a bus, hand them some cash, and tell them where I'm going. But I never did it in Curacao because I waited too late. I didn't do it the first day, so I never did it. It's a thing. It's a like, it's a thing that I have to do right away or I'm not going to do it. Public transportation is awesome in some places. It's funny to see how people have developed a system for where they live, right? And it's nice. But it can be scary. It can be intimidating. So I like to do it right away or I'm probably not going to ever do it. I'll just only walk and try to find Ubers. In some places, Uber is not, they're not coming. They're not coming. Especially somebody like me who likes to go to small towns. They're not coming. So I do that the first day. And then I try to find a local coffee shop, a local pharmacy, and a local ATM, right? I want to be able to get the things that I need really close, within walking distance. That's the thing that I do as soon as I get there. Pardon me. Give me 1 second. I hope I'm off camera. I'm not. I'm not. All right. So when I first get to the place, I need to find an ATM, a coffee shop, and a pharmacy. In a lot of places, pharmacies have snacks. So if I get sick, I know where to go to get medicine, but I also know how to get snacks. Jeepney, that's what it is. Jeepney. Thank you. Yeah. So I've done the jeepney. I did it in the Philippines, right? You just ask somebody. In the Rashida says the United States has a wonderful PR machine. The PR in the United States is wonderful. What's the other word? Propaganda machine. United States has a wonderful propaganda machine. That's what Rashida always says. It's true. We think of places as being so scary and strangers and other people as being so scary and threatening. People have gone out of their way to help me all over the world. including in the Philippines. When I wanted to go to the state fair, it was like their equivalent of a state fair. I was in a small town, and I didn't know how to get on the thing to go there. And I knew if I tried to take an Uber, I could Uber there, but I wasn't going to get an Uber back. So I went to the place where there was like a central place where they were. It was just a street, right? And I didn't know which side of the street to be on. I didn't know which jeepney to get on. What would it look like? How would I know? Somebody held my hand, basically, and walked me through the process, right? People will go out of their way to help you, right? They're good people. People will help you. I talked about how much I love Black women from Chicago. But those people are all over the world. They're all over the world. So I dash. Our outlets and plugs different in Central and South America. Yeah, yeah. You have to know ahead of time what you're in for. Here in Costa Rica, they use the same style as American. Plugs and outlets are the same style, but I think they're using a faster electricity voltage or higher voltage electricity, but the same style outlets. So you need to know. You need to look at that before you when you go places. I have like a couple of different universal adapters. They have different things on the one thing, different types of adapters or plugs or whatever. Okay, Hyacinth, this is very helpful. I'm going to Panama City and I could use this information. Thanks. You're welcome. I hope you enjoy Panama City. I'll be there October 15th. We're doing a little meetup October 15th if you're going to be there then, Hyacinth. The Exodus Summit meetup. All right. So pin the location, find local transportation, or use local transportation, find a coffee shop, pharmacy, and ATM. Then I just go to the store or have delivered my usual list of stuff. I have a list of stuff that I get all the time: bacon, yogurt, instant coffee, or real coffee here in Costa Rica. If it's a place that's known for coffee, I'll get real coffee and I'll actually make coffee as opposed to drinking instant coffee. Uh, Usually Lysol wipes if I get there and they don't have any, right? I have the usual list of stuff that I get all over the world for house sits and not for house sits, for Airbnbs, for whatever. I run a load in the dishwasher. That's the thing I do to feel comfortable in a new place. Run a load in the dishwasher. That way I know that that stuff is clean. I joined the Black expat group for that city. And if I'm in a country where I'm going to do some bopping around, I join the Black expat group for the cities that I think I'm going to. I don't always connect with them. I hardly ever. I hardly ever I never, I never reach out to the people in those groups. Okay, that's just me. Okay, but the information is super helpful. There's always really, really helpful information in there. Somebody's talking about a restaurant, a thing to do, an experience, or whatever. They're always very helpful. If I were more of a less of a hermit, I would just reach out and be like, "Hey, I'm in your city." This is a thing that people do really well in Exodus Summit. "Hey, I'm in this city. Who's here? Who wants to meet up?" Now the women that I've met around the world, most of them I've met through something like that, right? Either through a Facebook group that I'm in, where I've at least told people that I'm in town. Through Instagram, I talked to Adrian in Chicago, Adrian from Chicago, a while ago now, and that was on Instagram. She's like, "Oh, you're in Hoi An, I'm in Hoi An. You want to have a play date?" And I was like, "Yes." But I get in the Black expat group. For most cities that you're going to want to go to, there's going to be an expat group, right, which is going to have all people, Canadians, Americans, Brits. There's also going to be a Black expat group. You want to get in that group as well. If they have that, get in that. Get in both. But I found the Black expat groups to be much more helpful. And it's probably a whole lot easier to get somebody to meet up with you inside of the Black groups than the other groups. Kenny Pooh, any suggestions to still solo travel without trusted house sitters? They denied me. I still want to solo travel. I commented on your last post. Can I get some help? So, if you're talking solo travel on a budget, which is how I'm interpreting this, solo travel without a whole grip of cash, right? Work exchanges might still be helpful. If trusted house sitters denied you for having a previous some sort of record, I don't know if work exchanges. I think work exchanges would still work, workaway.info, helpx.net, woof, WWOOF.org. Those might still be available to you. Work exchanges, house sitting is basically a work exchange, right? But it's only one type of work exchange. But there are all types of work exchanges out there. I've done work exchanges on, I just said it, HelpX, Woof, Workaway. I've done work exchanges on Workaway. They give you free room and board, right? You have to be careful. You need to vet them, make sure they have amazing reviews, right? Just like with anything else. Make sure the host has amazing reviews. But there are work exchanges all over the world that will give you free room and board. There was a lull during COVID, but I think they're back. I think work exchanges are back. You need to get yourself there. You pay for your own transportation, but they are a wonderful way to have free room and board in another place. You want to make sure with work exchanges that you're not doing too much work for what you're getting in exchange, right? So a 4-hour work exchange in Australia that gives you free room and board is amazing. But a 4-hour work exchange in Cambodia that gives you a free room and board is not necessarily worth it because it's only going to cost you, well, back in my day, it only cost like $25 a day to live and eat and travel around Cambodia, right? So working 4 hours a day for 25 didn't seem to benefit me. Plus, I didn't like that work exchange, right? I've done a video about this, but right now, I think it's probably, I can't remember what it's called. It's probably called, my, I don't know. If I remember this, Kenny, I'll try to share it somewhere. It's probably called, well, I know I did a video called I Quit My Job to Travel for a Year. Here's what that did for me. That's a long title. But I probably talked about it there. But I think I did a very specific work exchange video myself. And then I've done work exchange videos where I've interviewed other people. I interviewed Tiffany probably 3 or 4 years ago now about her work exchange in the Caribbean. So that may still be a valid option for you. Also, remember that some places are just inexpensive. If you're making money online, if you're making money on the internet, and some places are still, yes, workaway.info. Some places will be within your budget, https, workaway.info. This is who I did my work exchanges through. I did them in Australia, 2 in Australia and 1 in Cambodia, and that's it. Workaway.info, helpx.net. So I don't think these are in the Work From Anywhere toolkit now that I think about it. I'm going to link to the Work From Anywhere toolkit just in case they are there, okay? ExodusSummit.com. If they're not in there, I'll add them in. I'll add them in and I'll resend the toolkit to everyone who's already gotten it sometime the next time. Sometime, okay? At some point, I will refresh the Work From Anywhere toolkit and resend it to you, okay? Because I don't think those work exchanges are listed in there, as a matter of fact, okay? Workaway, HelpX, Woof, okay? Okay, and then the second thing I'm going to point you to is CoolWorks, which is a website for jobs in the U.S. on resorts. I talked to Shell Nelson here on this channel, who works resort seasons. She summers in Martha's Vineyard, and in the winter, she's in the ski places. I don't know, Colorado or something. And then she makes enough money to have spring and fall off, generally, right? She works the summer resort season, she works the winter resort season, and she's off the fall and spring. And I just saw her on Instagram. I'm pretty sure it was while she was in Martha's Vineyard this summer. I know I saw her skiing last year on the resort last winter. So she's still doing it. I think I talked to her probably 3 years ago too, and she's still doing it. So Cool Works within the U.S. for resort work. They don't pay well. Most resorts, I'm learning, okay, they don't pay all that well, but they may give you subsidized housing, and you get to live on a resort and do resort life things. She's skiing like she's a resort visitor, you know? Okay. Alicia says, work away. What a great travel hack, especially for the high cost of living countries. Absolutely. 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 There's no way. So I told you I needed to recoup money during my sabbatical because I ran over budget and I didn't want to come home early. And so I needed to recoup some money. And being in Australia it's an expensive place. It was really cheap to get there because I was already in. I went from Cambodia to Singapore, just to the airport in Singapore, to Australia. It wasn't expensive at all to fly into Australia from Southeast Asia, but it's expensive to live there. And so those work exchanges with the free room and board saved me. That's why my sabbatical was a full year and not 9 months. They fed me, right? Not They didn't just give me a place to stay, but they actually fed me, free room and board. I did nanny work. The family had two sons who were 7 and 5, and I just saw them online just a couple weeks ago on Facebook, and they're like, "What? How old would they be now?" They were grown. They were like teenagers, and I was like, "What happened? Where did they go? Where are the little boys? Where are those little boys?" It's really upsetting how fast kids grow up. Is it upsetting to y'all? Anyway, Australia, free room and board, wonderful, right? Helpx.net. HTTPS helpx.net. Helpx. Uh-uh. I think it's helpx.net. Okay? Workaway, helpx, woof. Work exchanges. Okay? Maybe we need to talk about that again. We talked about it not too long ago. It's hard. Y'all, I'm over 300 videos in. It's hard to remember things, but someone came here not very long ago and talked about her work exchange. If you just go to my channel and put in work away or work exchange, some videos should pop up. Okay, yes, all right. When something doesn't work out, we adjust. We adjust. We'll find a way. We're gonna find a way. I'm not taking it lightly when someone says she wants to leave the United States or leave her city even, right? Let's figure it out. Okay, it's all we can figure it out. Again, I'm going to link you to Exodus Summit 2023. Our speakers come in to give you the tools to figure it out. Okay, they're probably not going to be able to prescribe your solution. Okay, but they're going to give you the tools to figure it out, just like we do here together. Our speakers are coming into Exodus Summit to show you some options you didn't know were possible, some approaches you didn't even know about. And every year, women take what they learn and soar. Just be out in the world living. Yeah. Okay. So, Shauna, I was offered a $12.50 hotel desk clerk position, including a private room and a bike in Seward, Alaska. Okay. Right. So, not much money. They don't pay well, but hopefully you're getting subsidized housing or free housing. That's what you're hoping for when you work in a resort. Or just share housing with the other people. Shell seems to share housing with the other resort workers, and she's a little younger, They want to be partying. They be out doing stuff. Right, but there's a way. We can make it work. We can make it work. If you need 3 months, I'm not here to tell. If you need 3 months in a resort in Martha's Vineyard, I'm not here to tell you it's unrealistic. Let's figure out how you can do it. Maybe a job is the answer, right? I really like the idea of us toning down our jobs. Not everyone wants to quit working for extended periods of time. We all need to quit working for months or a year or so. We all need that. But some people want to go back to work, but you don't need to go back to a stressful, high pressure, toxic work environment. You can go back to a job where you do something. I don't even remember what Shell does. I think she does front desk work and maybe housekeeping. I don't remember what she does, right? Oh, I talked to a massage therapist not too long ago. Yeah, right. So maybe something that's less pressure, more ease, so that you can enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week. Tone down the work. Do something easier. Find something easier. I don't know that housekeeping isn't easy. Seems like work to me. But she seems to like it. I think that's what she does, housekeeping and front desk work. We need time. We all need time. Mish, I've been house sitting and a bit burnt out from all the pets and looking for a break. Yeah, take a break. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it, right? Some pets are higher maintenance than others. I kind of have a system, right? I prefer two dogs to one dog because I find that two dogs will occupy themselves more than one dog. One dog is all over you. Any number of cats. I don't care about the number. Well, actually, like after four cats, it gets kind of creepy to me. I shouldn't have said that because some of y'all have more than four cats. But okay, I prefer four cats or less. Three cats. I'll say I prefer three cats or less, or two dogs, or a dog and a cat, or of course no pets, which I have done. I've had two, one house sit that was no pets at all. Yeah, yeah. If it's too much, tone it down. Don't do it. Don't do it. We're not here to get burned out doing the next thing. Some of you friends don't know how to do nothing. And so you dive into the new thing with the same like energy that you were doing the old thing. You don't know how to do things on a level 4 out of 10. I know how to house sit on 4. Right? I'm happy, the pet's happy. We just laying around. I'm getting in the pool, okay? They're going to run around the pool, do laps around the pool while I'm in the pool. Everybody's winning. They're getting exercise. I'm not getting exercise. We all get what we want. Shauna says, I accepted a low paying remote customer service position starting when I returned from Guadalajara. Okay. I plan to stay home long enough to complete the 2-week training. Then I want to hit the road again. Yes. Low paying can still work for you in a low cost of living place. Now, cost of living changes, fluctuates. You need to be prepared for that, right? Like I just said, I just read an article about the peso being so strong. People who in Mexico rely on U.S. dollars, right? People in Mexico who rely on family in the U.S. to send money back are getting less and less. That money is going less and less, or doing less and less because the dollar to peso ratio is rapidly changing. But I don't know. If you know how to make a dollar, you know how to make $10, right? Jess, Stephanie, would you consider house sitting for me while I go to Portugal? I'm in Montgomery, Alabama. Unfortunately, Jess, my schedule is booked. Let me tell you, my travel schedule between now and May of 2024 booked. But if you're inside of the Exodus Summit Facebook community, you'll find a house that you might find someone available. But if not, just go on Trusted House Sitters. Booking a house sitter through Trusted House Sitters gives you insurance protections that you're not going to get if you just have me or somebody you know house sit for you. So I would go through Trusted House Sitters. Seriously, it's worth it. It's worth it. Yeah, go through Trusted House Sitters, but then once you put it up on Trusted House Sitters, you can tell the women in the Exodus Summit community that your house sit is there and have them apply for it through there. That way you are protected. Anything can happen, right? I always use the example of me burning the kitchen down because that's the least likely problem because I'm not cooking, okay? I might microwave, I might use your kettle. I'm not cooking. So I'm not going to burn your kitchen down. But just in case I did, the protections that Trusted House Sitters gives you are worth it. Let me put my new house sitter toolkit up here for anybody who's thinking about, who's hearing us talk about house sitting and is like, what is that? Let me find it. I have a new house sitter toolkit at housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. I know it's a long link, okay? But that's what it is. housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. This is for house sitters primarily, but if you want my affiliate link to join Trusted House Sitters, it's in there, right? Doesn't cost you any extra, and I get a commission. Also, I have some links to my favorite food delivery apps in the US. I don't think I have any of the Mexico or Costa Rican apps in there yet. I have the letter that I use that gets me booked. The actual letter I use is in there. You need to tailor the letter to yourself because it sounds like me. I'm like, oh, your dog is so adorable, right? I'll cuddle. I cuddle on demand. That's what I think it says. I cuddle on demand, right? That might not be you and your personality, so you need to change it. But it's there. It's a wonderful resource. Hello. I don't know. Is this really Ian Levanzant? Good morning. Good afternoon, wherever you are. Hello. Welcome. We use house sitting to get what we need. For me, house sitting gives me travel, gives me free accommodation, right? It gives me a new city, a new experience. I pay to get there, but it gives me a new experience. It gives me free accommodation. It gives me time and space. I use house sits like a retreat. Every time I get to a new house sit, I'll be like, I'm here for, let's say, 18 days. For these 18 days, I'm going to treat this like a little retreat. And I'm going to do this, little retreaty type thing. I'm going to get up and get in the pool every morning. I'm going to walk the dog, and then I'm going to get in the pool every morning. Then I'm going to make my coffee with my vanilla extract, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that. I do those things, and it's easier for me to do those things in a house sit than in my house, which is my parents' house, right? In my parents' house, I'm just a person who doesn't do things. But on a house sit, I'm a person who does those things for myself. I journal on house sits, like I'll be in houses like a whole new person because I submit that you can be a new person in a new place. You can access parts of you that don't get to shine in your everyday life, right? You can access them in a new place, which can then become your new everyday. So I love it. I love house sitting. I recommend it. I'm teaching house sitting at Exodus Summit 2023, okay? If this is new to you, or if you've heard it several times, I talk about it all the time. If you've heard it, you just don't yet. You're not doing it yet, and you need some help. You need a workshop to get you through, to get you there. Join us at Exodus Summit 2023. The theme again, location freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom for Black women. Location freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom for Black women. Okay? This is our 4th year hosting Exodus Summit. Every year, we've had women show up in the summit with a hope and a ticket, right? I got my ticket, I got a hope. They leave the summit with a plan, and those women are out in the world living. Some of the women in this chat right now have attended Exodus Summit 2020, 2021, 2022, and are now out living their dream. Shauna just told you she's in Guadalajara, Mexico, right? On sabbatical. Women come to Exodus Summit to get their plan together. You don't have to already know how it's going to happen. You don't even have to think it's realistic. You don't even have to believe it's realistic for it to teach you, to touch you. So come to Exodus Summit 2023, okay? I don't know how many times I can tell you. We want you there. We created this space for you. We created this summit for you. Rashida and I are the hosts of Exodus Summit. Rashida Dow is a career break coach. Her program is called From Burnout to Bliss, and it's at FromBurnoutToBliss.co. Rashida Dow and I are already living the things that we can teach you. And so we don't host the summit for any other reason except to get you there, right? We already doing it. I told you I'm in Costa Rica to apply for residency. I didn't do the right thing with my documents. I'll talk about that another time. So it's going to take a couple extra steps because I didn't do the right thing. I didn't get my documents apostilled before I got here. So I got to ship them back, get them apostilled, and then apply. So it's not going to happen before the summit, which was what I was kind of hoping for. But it'll happen before the year's over. Yeah, that's why I'm going, JW, right? This is why we're going. We come to Exodus Summit to get that plan together. You don't have to know how. You don't have to know how. The speakers are going to show you some things that you never would have thought of. Some will be simple, right? You ever have that? You're like, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I already think of that? Some will be life-shatteringly, amazingly surprising, right? But we come to Exodus Summit, women come to Exodus Summit every year with that, just like you, with that same hope, that same ticket. And they leave with a plan. And then they report back. They continue on with their accountability partners. So get yourself an accountability partner. Remember, with that all access pass ticket, you're going to be able to get into some small group sessions, some salons, where y'all are just together. You get to meet women who are into what you're into. That all access pass is really a ticket to community. If you don't feel it yet, like what I felt when I got to meet the women in Chicago, if you don't feel that in your life, it's not because you don't deserve it. It's not because you just can't have it. It's just because you need to get yourself in the right place. And Exodus Summit 2023 is the right place. Okay? I don't know how many other ways I can tell you. I see you procrastinating and thinking. I hope you do buy your ticket. I hope you do come. Okay, so Rashida and I need to do a full video on this. How to get the most of the summit. You need to buy your ticket. You need to block off time. The evening of October 6th through October 9th should be blocked off. Blocked off. Ain't nothing else happening. Okay, there's nothing else you should be focused on. The evening of October 6th, all day October 7th, 8th, and 9th. Block that off now, right? Buy your ticket, block off the time, get in the mental space you need to be in to receive information. Okay, we all know what that's like. You know what it's like. You're like, I don't want to hear what y'all got to say. I don't, right? Do what you need to do to get yourself in that mental space. Whether that's moving yourself to a place where you don't have distractions, right? I think Amina says she goes to a hotel every year. You don't, I know it seems like all my solutions are spend money, but I like to spend money to buy things. You can buy, I want to say it, but I don't want to say, you can buy peace of mind. You can buy a little bit of peace. Okay? I like to spend money to buy the things. You can spend money to buy a little bit of peace and quiet. You can spend money to buy a little bit of free time. That's my jam. Okay, that is what I do. That is music to my ears. That's my song. Spending money to buy peace and quiet. Spending money to buy free time. Okay, so that's what we do. So you need to get yourself in the mind space to be able to receive the information and the physical space to do it. Okay. Okay, so we went through the things that I do to feel comfortable in a new place. This is what I did when I got to Costa Rica, mostly. Some stuff I didn't do. Okay, I told y'all. What did I not do this time? Oh, I didn't get money from the ATM, and now I got no cash. I got no colones. I do have US dollars, and part of the reason, I guess, that I felt okay with it is that Costa Rica uses the dollar and the colon. So I have US dollars still. Celeste says you can't buy happiness, but you can rent it. You can buy the building blocks of happiness. I think, is this wrong? Somebody tell me. You can buy free time by paying someone to do the stuff. You can buy free time. To me, happiness, so we talk about this all the time. Tony Robbins says happiness is hope plus progress. I'm not saying Tony Robbins is a wonderful person. I don't know if he's a good person, but I like that the succinct way he puts that. You can buy hope by getting into space. Buying a ticket to Exodus Summit is buying hope. You can buy progress. Coaching helps you make progress. People buy progress all the time. You can buy a little bit of, if that's what happiness is, you can buy those things. Listen, I don't know if money is real, but if money is real, you might as well use it to get things that matter to you. Instead of using your money to buy stuff you don't even care about, you're doing it because they told you to do it. You buying a bigger house because Black Excellence told you you need a bigger house. You need a brand new car. Do you want those things? Seriously? There was a time in my life where I was a car snob. I had an Acura and I wanted the BMW 3 Series because that was the biggest BMW I was going to be able to afford. But I needed a BMW 3 Series that had 100,000 miles or more because that was my budget. I ended up with a Saab, pretty new Saab, for the same price. And I liked that. It kind of looked like a BMW. And people, in passing, people still judged me as a respectable Black woman because I drove that Saab. I was miserable. I've talked about this. That was in my 30s. I was miserable. I was sad. I was sinking. I was lonely. I was full of regret. And I ran those regrets over and over in my mind. All day, all the time. I just would run over and over and over all those things, right? I was judging myself based on what the outside people, how outside people would view me. And that was sad and miserable. And then one day, I Started with a sabbatical. It started with a career break, a gap year. I saw myself through my own eyes. And I saw that I had the power, that I had agency over my life. I took that, I quit my job. I traveled for a year on savings, even though I was making $22 an hour. Quit my job and traveled for a year on savings and took things into my own hands, including my, not reputation, including my value as a person. I no longer look at myself through the lens of Black excellence, where I was failing. I was F, not even a C plus, an F, right? I was failing at Black excellence. I took that agency, and that agency gave me some clarity, and that free time, which I bought. I paid for free time, right? I paid $14,400 for a free year. You can buy those things. I bought free time. I paid $14,000 for that free time, and that free time gave me a whole lot of clarity about what mattered to me and what did not matter. And my car did not matter in the grand scheme of things. Even my house did not matter. Those things did not matter. The things I didn't have at that point even did not matter. I mattered. I got a whole new vision for my life. I bought that new vision for my life with $14,400. I bought a whole new life. I bought clarity. I bought peace of mind. I bought community for $14,400. Now, Exodus Summit costs less than that. Come to Exodus Summit. You can buy the thing. Money is funny. We talk about money in such a funny way. You can't buy happiness, right? There are things that people want you to not go after. The people who come up with these sayings have those things. And they've paid for those things. But they want you to be convinced that you can't pay for those things. Money is not important. What's really important is this and that. Okay, but you have the money. That's why you have the ability to do this and that. Right? Exodus Summit 2022 was all about money. Exodus Summit 2022's theme was Move Abroad Money. And all we did was bring in speakers who showed you the path to money, how they make money, right? And how to get started making money their way. Exodus Summit 2022 tickets are still available. When you buy your 2023 ticket, it'll ask you if you want to buy a year of replays to 2022 also. You can add them on, right? We had speakers come in and talk about freelance writing, any kind of freelance work. That session would be amazingly helpful. We had a speaker come in and talk about running a travel business to fund your luxury lifestyle, which I hope Rashida and I are being good students of hers. I don't know. We're hosting our Cape Town meetup. We have not yet made a profit from any in-person event, but hopefully we will, because we don't want Kimberly to be mad at us. Okay, Kimberly she's a good teacher. Don't let us convince you that she's not a good teacher. It's us. It's not her. It's us. We had a session on what were the most watched? Remote work, of course, finding remote work with Libria Jones, who's coming back this year. I think the next was teaching online, teaching what you know online, and infopreneurship. Rashida taught infopreneurship. Those are very closely related, but two different things. Teacher Jade was talking about teaching, like actually teaching things, like teaching mathematics, teaching sewing, teaching something online. And Rashida was talking about being an infopreneur, having a skill set, a knowledge that people want to pay you for, and different ways that you can do that, whether it's courses or workshops, which are courses, or group coaching, right? So Exodus Summit 22 sessions were all about the money. We're not discounting the money. We're not saying money is not important. I don't know if it's real, but I'm not saying money is not important. And you can buy the things that you need, right? I'm here in Costa Rica. Residency costs money. I'm buying residency in Costa Rica for peace of mind. for extra safety, to not have to look over my shoulder. This last time in Delaware was the first time that I've been in the US and been just like very, I want to say paranoid, but that's not the right word, because paranoia, there's no, there was a reason for me to be looking over my shoulder and a little extra fearful in the United States at this time. And I'm paying for residency in Costa Rica to not feel that. You can buy money, you can buy the things that you need. I don't know. Am I right on this? Am I wrong on this? I see one thumbs down. I don't know. Give me a thumbs up if I'm right on this. The things that you can buy them. I buy free time all the time. Okay? Whatever. I don't know. Are y'all still with me? Are y'all still with me? Elena, if you're having technical issues with the replays, you should email hello@exodussummit.com, right? Y'all who have your 2022 replays, you know the clock is ticking. If you bought your 2022 ticket during the summit or before, during, or immediately after the summit, that 1 year clock is ticking, okay? You got 1 year from when you bought your ticket. Or 1 year, actually, if you bought your ticket, you have until October 5th, I think, October 1st or 5th, okay? And then some of you just bought your tickets a couple months ago. But those of you who bought your tickets during that time, the beginning of October, last time to watch those replays. Hello@exodussummit.com is, Elena, where you go, and we can send you now if it's just the link, you can go back to your email, some email that says how to watch your 2022 replays, which I sent recently. I sent an email very recently called how to watch your 2022 replays. And then you can go into Hey Summit. If you just need to reset your link, you can do that there, the forgot password thing. But if it's more than that, email us. Robin's asking, what are the hours for October 6th through 9th? The schedule is still being firmed up, but October 6th session with Octavia Rahim, or the welcome session plus the session with Octavia Rahim, will start around 6 p.m. Eastern time, okay? And then the rest of the session, October 7th, 8th, and 9th, the days will start around 8:30 or 9 Eastern time. I think that's right. Might be 8 or 8, somewhere between 8 and 9 Eastern time, and we'll end around 8. Okay, we're talking like 8 to 8 Eastern time, 8 to 7, 8 to 8 Eastern time. Okay, is that helpful? The calendar will be out soon. You'll have the calendar soon. Everyone who's registered, you'll get the email. You'll get plenty of announcements when the calendar is out. Money can't buy happiness. Poverty can't either. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've bought happiness. Maybe it's the word happiness that's catching us. Maybe we have, I have paid for peace of mind. Absolutely. I have. I sure have. I sure have. And will continue. I don't know. Maybe the word happiness is not the right word, but I've paid for peace of mind over and over and over. Thanks, Edith. So you're using Edith Donaldson, so I'll keep that name. Okay, Edith Donaldson says, hit the like button, please, thank you. When you like a video, it really does help that creator. It helps YouTube know that you like the video, seriously, and that they should recommend it to other Black women. I put Black women in the title of all my videos so that YouTube knows who I'm talking to. so so it sends my stuff to Black women. So it really is helpful. Okay, Elena, then email hello@exodussummit.com and we'll fix it. Your email address it's probably off. Sometimes somebody will type, like if you're Gmail, they'll type gmail.com instead of .com or something. And we never know. We don't know that you're not getting the emails. Shauna says, I think it will. I think it will. Ms. Tika, I want to go to Cape Town. So Cape Town is a meetup, not a summit. There's no conference happening. There's no workshop. There's no lessons. There's no sessions in Cape Town. It's just good times. Cape Town is just good times. If you're inside the Exodus Summit community, you'll see the link to get your ticket to the Cape Town meetup. That's the link we don't put on YouTube. We don't put that link on YouTube because Black women only. Okay, you're not, but no, and not anybody is coming in to buy a ticket to the Cape Town meetup. Black women only. For Exodus Summit, the actual conference that's happening in October, it's for Black women only, but we can't control who buys a ticket, and so whatever. But in the on-camera things, if your camera is on and you're not a Black woman, we will put you out with no refund. Okay, but Cape Town is happening February 16 through 20, which is, I think it's President's Day weekend in the US. We're going to be in Cape Town, South Africa. A good portion of the women who have their tickets already are talking about staying, right? Either coming earlier or staying later or both. So this is a time when there will be women like traveling around together before and after the meetup. But February 16th through 2024, we'll be in Cape Town together. And those meetup tickets are available inside the Exodus Summit Facebook community. Let me give you that link again. I lost it. The Exodus Summit Facebook community is exodussummit.com/community, or you can just go on Facebook and search for Exodus Summit. Copy. Rashida's texting me important things. Yesterday I was live and didn't know it. I mean, yesterday I did a thing, and some of y'all, so I apologize for some of you who, let me find it. I apologize to some of you who thought that I was live and were waiting and waiting for me. I was just testing some stuff out. I thought it would say testing. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so Exodus Summit community, exodussummit.com/community. Exodus Summit, the actual virtual summit that's happening in October, exodussummit.com, okay? And then Exodus Summit Cape Town meetup inside the Facebook group, exodussummit.com/community. Yeah, down to earth. I never understand why people walk into a room that wasn't created for them. Some people will never feel they will never feel like it's not for them, right? White people, men in general. Everything is always for them. So they're used to things being for them. So they're going to be there. Everything is always for them. So they don't understand it. There are men here in the chat today who know how to handle themselves in this situation, but there are plenty of men who don't know how to be in a situation where they're not the center of conversation. And so we just don't have them. We just don't, right? We don't. We don't. All right. Yeah. Nexodus 66. Hi, Nexodus. I'm always happy to have money and use it to make ideal things happen. Yeah. It's nice, right? Being a person who, there was a time when money was just there to help me get to the next day, right? The next month. Going to being a person where I'm like, I can live out my dreams. The money helps. Money helps. See me, I feel like buying a flight to Cape Town would make me happy. Oh, my birthday. Then, your birthday is then? Or your birthday is now? It's Steve. Yeah, right? Like, it's some of you don't have a place that is just Black women. And I feel for you. And so come on, join us. Join us. There's nothing like it. I can tell every time. I can always tell whether it's an in-person thing or an online thing. You can always tell when there's somebody there who is not used to things that are only Black women. They're like, oh, this is nice. Everybody's so supportive. Everybody's so helpful. Ah, that's what this is like. Come on over. Come on over. Including you, Ian Van Sant. Hello, friend. If you want to come on over to the Exodus Summit Squad, come on over. Welcome, welcome. If that's really you, I think it might be. I don't know. The check mark I don't think you can fake the check mark. If that's really you, welcome. And we would love to collaborate with you in some way. Holler at us. Hello at exodussummit.com is our email address. I did it. I typed it right. Hello at exodussummit.com. We'd love to do something with you. Something. something. This space is always like this, right? The same way that you see the support and the care that Black women show each other in the chat. It's always like this. So welcome to all the new faces. Rashida and I had a video on our Exodus Summit YouTube channel do really well, and so it brought in some new women to our fold, into our community. So welcome to all the new faces. We're glad that you're here. We hope, I think I can speak for both of us as an Exodus Summit entity. We hope that our legacy is Black women are no longer living the lives of workhorses first, right? And then second, Black women are out living their dreams. That dream for us has been moving abroad, but it's not necessarily that. It doesn't have to be that. It can be any way that you are rejecting, evaluating, right, the messages that you're getting, taking the time to evaluate. We stay so busy that we don't have the time to hear what we're hearing. And then we definitely don't have time to hear our reaction to it. What are we thinking? We need to take the time to hear what we're hearing and then hear what we're saying to ourselves. And that's what free time does. And so that our goal, our dream, our plan for Exodus Summit has been, will be free time for Black women to decide on their own dreams and then live them. For a lot of us, that is a career break. That is a sabbatical. That is moving abroad. That is house sitting. That is bopping around as a nomad. But it doesn't have to be that. It could be something else. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for the super chat. Regina says, oh, waving. So like I said, I'm on a third party called Ecamm Live, and they just show me the emoji. They tell me what the emoji is instead of showing it to me. I think it's really funny how they transcribe it. How's it going? Thank you so much for that super chat. So this community puts money together to send a Black woman on sabbatical, and the super chat money goes to that. I'm going to say January of this year, we sent $25,000 to artist Maisha Francis. She's a New Orleans artist who was in Rwanda. I believe she's back now. But we sent the money so that she could continue her sabbatical in Rwanda. We sent money to send Lisa to reclaim the retreat in March in El Salvador. We paid for her ticket to attend the retreat, not everything else, but just her ticket to attend the retreat. We've given money to a handful of different women just over the last few months. We have our sabbatical fund, Vicarian Sabbatical Fund, still sitting there with a pot of cash in it. And every month I say, this is the month we get together and decide what to do with the money. But time moves so fast. I don't know what's happening. The Vicarian Sabbatical Fund today is at $6,759, but I don't think that's right. I think I need to move money manually over from Patreon. I think there's going to be more than that soon. So we'll have enough money by the end of the year to send to another Black woman to take a sabbatical. So the Patreon community we need to get together sometime soon and figure out how we're going to decide that. Yeah, so that's what's happening here. So thank you for that. All that to say, thank you for the super chat. We pooled the super chat money together to send Black women on sabbaticals. The first year we decided on an artist. I decided on an artist or some sort of artist or creative. I don't know if we want to continue that or figure something else out. It's up to us. All up to us. Milu, I have never had the opportunity to even take time to think. Been in survival mode since 19, now 43, need a transformation revamp. This free time really is the key. Free time really is the foundation for whatever is coming next for you. I hope that you will create the free time, whether it's a sabbatical or a career break or something else. I hope that you get to create that free time to decide to actually take agency and decide on what's next. We're not supposed to live our whole lives in fight or flight, right? Fight or flight mode is supposed to come and go. It's supposed to come and go. We're not supposed to live our whole lives in fight or flight. So I hope that you do that. If you're coming to Exodus Summit 2023, we have speakers coming in to show you how to do that with more intention. First, Octavia Rahim is coming to do the rest session to help us develop a deeper rest practice, right? We need a rest practice. You understand the idea of a spiritual practice, right? Whether you have one or not, you understand that idea. She's coming to teach us how to develop our own rest practice, okay? But we also have other speakers who are going to be so even Team Zekas' session on earning the salary you deserve is as I've said, I think you can pay for things. You can pay for free time. If it's a key, if the secret is you need to earn more money to pay for the free time, we have sessions on that. Libria's session on using AI tools to find remote work, AI tools to help you in your remote work search. Location freedom, financial freedom, time freedom is what Exodus Summit 2023 is designed to get you to, right? To get you to. So I hope that you're coming, and I hope that you will give yourself the time, however you need to find it, create it, pay for it, whatever. I hope that you'll have the time to put into practice what you're going to learn at the summit. I hope so. Because somebody's going to do it, right? Somebody's going to do it. So might as well be you, right? Somebody's going to get that transformation. Every year, someone has been transformed at this summit. So I say it's you. Might as well be you. Yeah, I dash. Fight or flight is literally only meant to save our life in a single moment of danger. That's right. It's not supposed to be a state of being. It's not supposed to be our life. But it has been for so many people. We have to actively, there's nothing is going to come and change that for you, right? You have to change that yourself. I've changed that by being in a place that is more peaceful. Right now, all I hear is just cheering for these little kid soccer players, right? I'm in San Jose. I'm in front of a park. Um, I'm sandwiched between two parks, and I mean, these I don't know what age the team were. I didn't put my glasses on to look, but I saw all age kids getting out of the cars at like 7 o'clock. So it's all age kids out here. These people are cheering like they're at a professional soccer game, right? They're out here living their lives, living their lives. Yesterday, I had deliveries coming, food delivery coming. And the woman who is the housekeeper I'm in an apartment building, but I have a floor. I didn't realize that. This Airbnb is too big. It's too big. I have a whole floor of an apartment building. It's crazy. I went downstairs yesterday to pick up my delivery, and she saw that I wasn't using the door. I was using the car, the garage door instead of the door. So she came and taught me how to use the door, right? I'm paying money to be in a place that is more peaceful. I'm paying money to be in a place where people are living in a way that I want to live, right? And I'm paying money to be in a place where people treat me better, right? The average person I come in contact with in Costa Rica is treating me well. Either not, they don't care about what I'm doing one way or the other, or they're going out of their way to be helpful. This is the second woman who's had to help me use a door in Costa Rica. My other Airbnb, I couldn't use the door. I was like, in my poor Spanish, I'd be like, tengo la llave, I have a key, pero no trabajo. I said, I have the key, but I don't work. And she still helped me. I sound stupid. I sound like, what is she talking about? I have the key, but I don't work. Right? This is the second time a woman has had to come out of her place, out of her house, out of where she lives, to help me use a door in Costa Rica. And both of them did it with grace, smiles, conversation even. This lady yesterday, I was on the call with Rashida when I had to run down and pick up my deliveries, and I'm coming back up. She stopped and talked to me, right? She knows I barely speak in Spanish, but we did our best, right? This is a place where I want to be. I'm paying to be in a place where I can have the day and the month and the year that I want, which includes community. It includes being in a place where I am one of you, one of us. So I got to work on that. That's the thing that I got to work on here. Making some friends, meeting some people, speaking more Spanish, going to co-working. We're about to get into a whole other video. It's been 2 hours. I think we've covered the subject for today. And I hope I've answered your questions about the summit. Thank you. I practice my accent because I think that's the thing that gets people to keep speaking Spanish with me. Costa Ricans are multilingual. So a lot of them speak English, and a lot of them speak English and German, right? And they'll switch to English on me. So I try to get my accent right so I don't sound like a struggling American. The problem is, once I say tengo la llave in Spanish with an accent that sounds less American, then they start speaking Spanish to me like I know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Then I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute. Then I got to bring back the American Spanish, the Spanglish. Then I got to bring back the Spanglish. Oh, Kat, are you in San Jose? Email me. My personal email address is stephanie@vicarious.com. And put something about Costa Rica in the subject line. Okay, I don't open my email all that much, but I will wait for you. Okay, I will look for you. Stephanie@vicarious.com is my personal email address. Email me. I need some friends. Okay, are you in San Jose? I plan to go to, actually, I don't know when I'm going getting to the beach. Okay, good. Oh, I need some friends. Hi, Kat. Okay, email me, email me. Okay. Yeah, right. All I need to do is sit and talk with them. When I was in Guanajuato, I did a house sit for 1 month in Guanajuato, and she lived on a resort. She was a woman who was a foreigner. She lived on a resort. So there was housekeepers and a concierge. One day the concierge knocked on my door, and the house sit was 1 full month. He knocked on my door, and he was like, "Meet Erica. Erica works on Tuesdays, and every Tuesday she's going to spend her lunchtime in here with you." Because he knew, I guess I had been there long enough, he knew I was going to be home all the time. Erica is going to spend her lunchtime with you every Tuesday so she can practice her Spanish. So Erica was probably, I think she was 19. She would come in, we would Spanglish some sentences together, chat. She told me about a wedding. I learned the word boda. I didn't know the wedding was boda. She taught me that word at least, if nothing else. I tried to get her to invite me to the wedding. She was going to her cousin's wedding. I tried to get her to invite me to the wedding, but she didn't. I kept asking her, "What will you eat? What will the cake look like?" Right? Community, conversation, connection. We're told, Rashida calls it the propaganda machine. Propaganda. We have the best propaganda in the United States. The propaganda is that other places are dangerous and other people are dangerous, but where you live is dangerous. The United States is the dangerous one. And the American people, them white Americans are the dangers. So I come out here, I look lost and confused. I have a good lost and confused face, and people stop and they help me. And they befriend me sometimes, hopefully. I'm waiting for that here. In other places, I've had people in Vietnam. I had like a dessert buddy, a dessert partner. Every day I would go to, there was like, I lived on a street, I stayed on a street for a month that had 3 restaurants kind of like across from me, all within walking distance anyway, that were just good. So I just rotated between those 3 restaurants. I didn't hardly have to go other places, right? So I would go to the restaurant and then I would come outside. She'd be sitting outside of the nail shop and we would sit down and we would eat ice cream. I would go to the thing. She was pregnant. Ha. Her name was Ha. She said, "My name is Ha, like Hanoi." I said, "My landlord's name is Ha too." She said, "Yeah, everybody in Vietnam." So I guess Ha is like Jane in Vietnam. In Vietnamese. I would go to the little place, buy a little ice cream sandwich, buy 2 ice cream sandwiches, and we would sit down and eat our ice cream every evening. Every evening. The first time she saw me walk by with the ice cream, and she said hello, and we had a conversation. The next day, she said she saw me coming back. She was like, "You eat a lot of ice cream." I said, "I do. I love it. It's hot here." The third day, I brought her ice cream and we sat and talked. We talked about her baby. We talked about her husband working in another town so that he could make money. All of that. I bought her a little baby shower gift. I think I gave her cash before I left, right? Conversation, community, connection. Those are the steps. Yeah, so I try. I try. I try. I have a face, I think, that tells people to talk to me. I think I have a talk to me face. So I think it works out. Yeah. But I need some black women friends down here, some American black women friends. If anybody's coming to town, holler at me. Now, this is summit season, so I'm not available for a whole lot of shenanigans until and then I leave for a little bit. So Available for a whole lot of shenanigans till the end of October. But if you want a little quick meal, a little here and there, or if you're going to walk at the park, and we can do a little lap around the park or whatever, little shenanigans, little mini shenanigans I'm available for until late October. Okay, we've talked about the things I do to feel more comfortable and more in community, not comfortable, to feel more at home in places as soon as I get there. I'm going to add these to the new house sitter toolkit, which is housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. I'm going to add this little checklist because I think the airport stuff in particular is important. So I'm going to add this to the new house sitter toolkit. So if you've already gotten it, expect me to send you an email in the next few days with an updated toolkit. If you haven't already gotten it, go ahead and get it at housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. But know that I'm going to send you an updated version of it. Okay, the little checklist about what I do at the airport to make sure that I'm good to go once I get here. There are Black people in Costa Rica, mostly on the Caribbean side. I'm in the middle in the valley in San Jose, but when you go to the Caribbean side on the east, that's where most of the Black people are, my understanding. But there's also, I've been told that there's some areas up near, closer to here where I can find Black people. So there are. The answer is yes. Because we're on the Caribbean, right? We're on the Caribbean. You know, Caribbean people move around, migrate. I understand Jamaicans came and built the canal, Panama Canal. I think that's what I was told. So there, and you know, we're not far from the Panama Canal, so there are a lot of Jamaican people in the Jamaican descendant people of Jamaican descent in the area, and other islands. You know, they may call them all Jamaicans. Actually, you know how they are. You know how Caribbean. You know how it is. All the Caribbean is Jamaica. Okay. Okay. So we've handled what I came to handle today. I've told you what I do when I get to a new place. I've told you how to do these things yourself. I've told you how to get your plan together by joining the Exodus Summit community and the Exodus the Exodus Summit, which happens in October. I've done what I came to do. Okay, I'm gonna go blow my nose in peace. And pray it's just allergies. I'm staying in the house, so I guess it doesn't matter one way or the other. But between flying here and all of that, who knows? But I think it feels like just allergies. Take some more Sudafed, get a little buzz. Take some more Sudafed and be buzzing around the house for a few more hours, do some work. My co-working, the Patreon community is co-working, I believe, at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, which would be noon Pacific Time, right? Or 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I think I have that right. If you're in the Patreon community, get on over to the Discord so you can get that link. I'm looking for the Patreon link now. If you want to join the Patreon community, they do co-working. Patreon is not about me. Patreon is not about me. I'm hardly there. But the community, it's about Black women spending time together. Really, the Patreon is really about Black women putting money together to send another Black woman on sabbatical. That's what it really is. But in the course of them putting the money together, they do things like co-working. Jessica's in the West Coast. Jessica's in Southern California. Pardon me. So they do co-working pretty regularly. And I think I might pop in today if I can get my food in time. I'll be back in time for co-working this afternoon because Saturday's a work day for me. Okay. I know. I've closed this video out 4 times, but so glad to see you. So glad to spend time with you again this morning. I'm so glad to be in Costa Rica. I'm so glad to be in Costa Rica. I'm so glad that you're here and that you were able to join in on the chat and that you were, of course, as always, so wonderful and warm and welcoming to everyone in the community. As always, thank you for that. Remember the same grace that you extend me, that you extend the other women in the chat, please remember to extend that same grace to yourself, right? You've been patient with me. I messed things up. I've gotten things wrong. My nose is running. You've been patient with me. Remember to show that same grace to yourself. Thank you kindly, friends. Nice to see you. Hasta luego. Hasta luego.